Yeah, g'day. This is a review for the Spyder MR1 Paintball Marker. The MR1 is a low-cost, entry-level marker that has proved quite popular. Before settling on a marker, I did a lot of research on the internet comparing different models and looking at the pros and cons of each. I finally settled on the MR1 due to the price and the fact that all the cons were either easily fixed or completely irrelevant to me. On the pro side is the price, which is extremely reasonable, even for a brand new one, and mine was even more reasonable since I purchased it second hand. And also the marker is extremely robust. A lot of reviews I had read remarked on how solidly built it was and how it could be dropped, kicked around, picked up and fired again and just keep on ticking, and I've certainly found that to be the case. Which brings us to our first con. One thing that is not particularly robust is the little plastic clamp that runs between the feed neck and the hopper itself. This apparently breaks quite frequently, and a lot of people recommend either replacing the entire assembly or carrying around spare clamps. Now, I've never needed to, because when I purchased mine I bought a Trinity clamping feed neck which bolts directly onto it and completely bypasses the clear plastic and extremely breakable clamp. As I mentioned in my earlier Spyder MR1 mods video, the Trinity feed neck is a bit of a trade-off, as it brings the hopper closer in line with the bore of the marker and makes it very difficult to sight, and makes it impossible to install a scope in line. You need to have an offset scope mount. Another complaint that I heard about the MR1 is that the bolt has a tendency to shear off the rubber detent that holds the balls back into the feed neck. This, however, is only a problem if the marker has been disassembled and then reassembled incorrectly. If the bolt is inserted correctly, there is a recess that will allow the bolt to pass harmlessly over the top of the detent without shearing it off. If, however, the bolt is inserted upside down or rotated 180 degrees, there is no such recess, and the edge of the bolt becomes an extremely effective detent guillotine and will chop it off every time. If you manage to do this, going on to a forum or a review site and going, "Oh, the MR1 sucks because it keeps chopping the detents off," just makes you sound like a twat, really. Barrel breaks. A few were mentioned in the reviews, but the only time I ever had any problems with that was when I bought some really out-of-date paint that was beginning to deform. The only fault I found with the standard barrel that came with it is it was a bit oversized, and so the elixir paint would come bouncing out in all kinds of directions. I fixed that by purchasing a J&J 14-inch ceramic barrel, which is slightly tighter and works better with the elixir paints that I favoured. On the whole, I'm quite well pleased with the Spyder MR1. It's robust, extremely well made, runs excellently on high pressure air, and the price is extremely reasonable. Suitability. Well, that depends on your style of play and where you play. I find the MR1 extremely good for bushball. It's weighty, yes, but not prohibitively so, and its robustness means that you can charge around in the bush, drop it, bang into trees, and not have to worry about you damaging the marker. I've certainly found that the MR1 suits my style of playing, which is more hunt and seek rather than spray and pray. As I mentioned in my earlier Spyder MR1 mods video, the only thing that I did not like about the MR1 was the trigger. I found the long two-finger trigger not to my liking, as I could not hold the marker in the way that I would normally hold a real firearm. And the other problem was there was a lot of rearward travel after the break point, which would mean that there was a long reset time after firing. Both of these problems were simply fixed with a little bit of basic smithing, using tools no more complicated than a hacksaw and a file. So in summary, cheap, robust, reliable, Great for hunting humans through the bush. All the problems that it has can be simply fixed, and it's a good, well-made marker. I certainly hope that you've enjoyed this review and that it helps you in making a decision about what would work for you. Have a lovely evening. Bye.